Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do your architectural lettering project. If you don't have the means to print out the template that was provided, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take your unlined paper or whatever resource you're using to draw on and measure it correctly so that your letters are the right size and the right spacing apart. And then I'm going to show you another alternative to kind of get you started. You can actually use your template if you're able to print it out, and you're able to use your window kind of like a light table so you can trace your lettering to get the hang of it first. But take a look at some of these options here and I'll show you how you can do that. Okay, so if you don't have the option of being able to print out the lettering worksheet from Schoology, then I'll show you how to set up your paper so that you're able to do your letter forms so that they're the correct height and the correct amount of space in between each row. So to do that, you're going to need a blank sheet of paper, and you're going to need yourself a ruler with 16-inch increments for it. And let me move that out of the way. Actually, I'm going to keep it here because there's a couple things. Hopefully on the, if you look at on the Schoology, you'll see at the top here where it says ruler intervals, it's got 3/16 of an inch and 1/8 of an inch. So it's telling you the spacing between each row. And what that looks like on a standard ruler is, so here is an inch, okay? So if you break that in half, here is the 1/2 inch. And then you do it again, there's a 1/4, and then there's an 1/8. Okay, so that's your 1/8 inch mark right there. Now these smaller dashes here are the 16th inch. Okay, so an easy way to remember the 3/16, we're just going to count up from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Okay, so we're going to count up each time. We're going to go 6 away from the end, and that's going to be our 3/16 mark. So whenever you're having to alternate between the 1/8 of an inch and 3/16, so now you know the 1/8 inch and then where your 3/16 is going to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start this off for you so you can take a look. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down about an inch from the top just to give us some space so we're not right up against the edge of the paper. And it's always a good idea to measure a couple of times, and notice that I am actually using the 0 as my guide and not the edge of the ruler. Okay, so you measure multiple times, that increases your probability of drawing a straight line. All right, and I'm just going to draw my construction line very light so that it's not super prominent. All right, I hope you guys can see that. So the next thing we're going to do now is we have to do our 1/8 inch spacing for the height of our letters. I'm sorry, the 3/16 is the height of our letters. Whoops, I almost had that wrong. So 1, 2, 5, and then 6. So right there. And then after a while, you won't have to keep counting. You'll just kind of have an idea of where that is. And like I said, measure it multiple times, increases that probability of getting a straight line. Draw your lines light. And now we do our 1/8 inch spacing. Try to do your dots as light as you can so that they don't get distracting whenever you're doing all of your measurements there. Alright, let's do our second row. Remember, we're doing, this one's now 3/16. Again, draw those lines light. And then you've got your spacing again, 1/8 of an inch. And then you should be able to get the pattern down after that. So you're going to do your 3/16, 1/8, 3/16, 1/8, and so forth. All right. So now that you've got your first set down, so we've got, this will be our row here, and then another row, and then spacing between. So we've got these first two down. So from there, you'll be able to start doing your lettering like in the video provided. So you'll start with the top, and you'll do your first row. Remember, try to keep them as square as possible. And then so forth. So now that's how you'll do your lettering for your particular, if you do not have the ability to print out the lettering worksheet, this is how you'll be able to do your lined sheet yourself. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be able to answer those. Email me or send me comments in Schoology, and I'll see you in the next video. Another way to get started is to trace your letter forms. Here I'm taking a printed template and putting another sheet of paper on top of it and placing it against the window. The window will act as a light table, shining light through so that I can trace it on the other side. Once I trace my letters a couple of times, I'll start to get the hang of how they're made, and then I can continue on my own. Alright guys, well I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to email me or contact me through Schoology, and I'll see you in the next Zoom classroom.